You. You just dread paperwork. I don't mean the idea of it. I mean that physical feeling you get staring at a dense, multi-page PDF.
The kind the bank lends you.
Exactly. Or the intake forms at a doctor's office.
Mm.
You're squinting at this tiny font, trying to figure out the digital fields, and it's an hour of your life you don't have. It's a huge time sink.
But it's more than just an annoyance, isn't it? For a huge number of people around the world, that piece of paper isn't just inefficient, it's a wall. It actively stops them from getting critical services.
And that's the core of what we're diving into today, a technology that's designed to completely change that dynamic. It's called Sarathi AI.
A great name.
It's a beautiful name.
Sorry.
Sarathi in Sanskrit means charioteer or guide. It has this idea of a trusted assistant leading you through a difficult journey.
And our mission today is to really analyze why this solution is a genuine necessity right now. It goes so much further than just reading text off a page. It's a very advanced integration of multiple technologies, all orchestrated to solve this global digital divide crisis.
So we're looking at how Sarathi AI moves us from that manual struggle to, well, just a simple conversation.
And why that simple change matters for millions.
Okay, let's unpack that then. Before we get into the tech, which sounds amazing, we have to understand the urgency. Who specifically is being left behind by these traditional static forms that we all have to deal with?
Well, we hear a lot about the digital divide, right? Usually in terms of not having a laptop or good internet.
Right. Access.
But the sources here show a different kind of exclusion, one that's caused purely by interface design. We're talking about forms that are built for one specific type of person, someone who's a high literacy, English-speaking, and fully able-bodied user.
Can you give us some concrete examples of who's most affected?
For sure. The material highlights three major groups. First, you have low literacy users. I mean, they just can't confidently read dense legal text or even know for sure what a specific field is asking for.
So critical government form, for example, just becomes impossible.
Instantly. They can miss out on essential benefits just because they can't process the application. And that, of course, just compounds across banking, healthcare, you name it.
Everything.
Precisely. Then think about the visually impaired and the elderly. We have basic accessibility tools, sure, but they completely fall apart when you hand them an image of a document.
A screen reader can't do anything with a JPG.
Nothing. Think about that bank form again. The disclosures, the terms and conditions. They're often in what, 6-point font? For an older person, that's not just difficult, it's impossible.
I know my own parents need a magnifying glass just to read a prescription label. And when that tiny print is the difference between getting approved for something or not, the barrier is just massive.
It is. And finally, you have the huge language barrier for non-English speakers. Even when forms are available in local languages, the jargon is often still very technical or the instructions are only in English. This is a huge reason for errors and rejections.
When you connect all that to the real-world impact, the urgency is, well, it's really clear. This isn't just about convenience. We're talking about millions missing out on welfare, patients getting delayed medical care because of intake forms.
And a whole segment of the population that's shut out of financial inclusion because a KYC form is just too hard to fill out correctly. The sources make it clear this isn't a theoretical problem. It's about economic and social survival.
Okay, so that brings us right to Sarathi AI itself. That core idea of being a guide, a conversational guide. It seems perfectly targeted at that feeling of dread we started with.
It is. The revolutionary part of Sarathi AI is its simplicity. It takes any static form, a picture you snap on your phone, a JPG, a PDF, and turns it into a fully interactive experience.
So walk me through that. What's the three-step process there?
Okay, so first you upload the form, take a picture, choose a file. Simple. Step 2 is where the magic happens. The AI analyzes and extracts everything. It finds all the fields, all the checkboxes, and this is key. It maps their exact location on the page.
And step 3 is the payoff.
Step 3 is the voice-guided filling. You just start talking to the system.
You know, what I really appreciate about this, and what speaks to my own life, is the multitasking value.
Yeah.
We are just buried in paperwork, personally and professionally. So much time is spent just glued to a screen, typing in the same data over and over.
Right.
The idea that I could upload a form, and then while I'm, say, making dinner or getting ready for work, I can just listen and talk and fill it out hands-free, that's a game changer.
It's turning this passive, focused work into an active, flexible interaction. It cuts down so much of the time you have to dedicate just to bureaucracy. You're not forced to stop everything just to fill out a form.
So here's where it gets really interesting for me. How do the specific features solve those problems we talked about? The small print, the language issues. Let's start with the immersive filling experience.
Right. So the immersive voice form filler, it's all about reducing that cognitive load. The system leads the conversation. It'll say, "We are starting the form. Field 1 of 5. Please tell me your full name."
So it guides you one step at a time. You're not looking at a whole page of empty boxes.
Exactly. And the mechanics are built for trust. As you speak, it uses auto recording and shows you a live transcription. You see your words appear on the screen in real time.
So you can check it as you go.
Yes. And before it moves on, you have complete control. You can say confirm, edit, or try again if you misspoke. That verification is absolutely non-negotiable for, high-stakes documents.
Okay, let's go back to that bank form with the tiny print. If I'm visually impaired, how does Sarathi AI make that text accessible to me?
This is where it gets really powerful. The system uses advanced text-to-speech, or TTS, which gives you a really natural conversational voice reading the form to you. And if the fine print is dense, you can use the speed control to slow it down to half speed or speed it up to 2x.
Just being able to slow down a complex paragraph is huge for comprehension, especially for older users.
It's huge. And for visual help, there is a zoomable form preview. It's built specifically for this. You can magnify the document from 50% all the way up to 400% and pan and drag around. It directly solves that squinting at the page problem.
The market opportunity for language support is obviously massive. How does it actually break down those barriers?
It handles both input and output. To start, it supports English, Hindi, and Kannada. And that's for your voice input and for the text that actually goes onto the form.
Which is so important for government forms.
It's critical. A citizen in a rural area can just speak their details in Hindi, say, "Mera naam Ramesh Kumar Hai," and the AI handles the live translation and puts the text, correctly formatted, right onto the document.
Which leads right into reducing errors.
Yeah.
The system doesn't just transcribe, it validates the data too, right?
Exactly. The AI spell check and validation is like an intelligent safety net. It automatically fixes things like name capitalization, so John Doe becomes John Doe. It also validates formats for emails, phone numbers, that kind of thing. This detail work just dramatically boosts the acceptance rate of applications.
This all sounds like a massive synthesis of technology. I mean, you've seen things like OCR get better over the years, but this feels different. It feels like it's pulling all these separate threads together.
You've just hit on the core revolutionary piece. Historically, these things were all siloed. You'd have one tool for OCR, another for voice recognition. Sarathi AI works because it seamlessly combines OCR, natural language processing, and text-to-speech into one single unified flow. That orchestration is the key.
So let's talk about what's under the hood. What's powering this?
The foundation has to be a model that is inherently multimodal. Sarathi AI uses Google Gemini 2.5 Flash. And that's critical because filling out a form isn't just a text problem. It's a vision, audio, and text problem all at once.
Right, it has to see the form, hear your voice, and then write the text.
Exactly. A single modality model just couldn't handle that.
So when you say see the form, it's doing more than just reading the words on the page. It has to understand the structure.
That's the really hard part. Basic OCR reads letters. Sarathi AI does advanced field detection. It sees a box and knows that's for a text input or that's a checkbox. And then, crucially, it calculates the exact position mapping, the X and Y coordinates on the image.
So it knows precisely where to put the text you give it.
Precisely. Without that mapping, it could never reliably fill out a form that was maybe scanned at a slight angle.
And the voice part, the natural language processing, that has to be incredibly smart too. It has to understand what you mean, not just what you say.
Yes, absolutely. It has to parse natural language. So if the prompt is date of birth, and you say, well, my date of birth is the 15th of March, 1990, the NLP engine has to understand that whole sentence and pull out just 15 March, 1990 to put in the field.
Wow. And to manage all of that, the vision, the speech, the output, you must need a really powerful command center.
That's where the orchestration layer comes in. They use GenKit. Think of GenKit as the conductor of an orchestra. You have all these amazing individual components, the OCR, the Gemini model, but you need a conductor to make them play together.
To manage the flow.
Exactly. GenKit manages these complex flows, like analyze form, ensuring data moves smoothly from one stage to the next without any errors or lag. That's what makes the user experience feel so seamless.
This deep dive really highlights a profound shift. But I have to ask, when you're dealing with sensitive documents, KYC forms, medical histories, how reliable is it? And what happens to that data?
That's the crucial question for market viability. For accuracy, the fail-safe is that explicit user control, the ability to see the live transcription and confirm everything before the document is finalized. That's essential.
The user is always the final checkpoint.
Always. As for the data, any service like this has to live and die by its data handling protocols. Documents have to be processed securely and not stored beyond what's necessary. Trust is everything.
So what does this all mean for the everyday user? It seems like Sarathi AI really does transform bureaucracy. It turns this frustrating, time-consuming task into a simple conversation. It solves a real pressing problem for millions.
It completely changes the power dynamic. Instead of feeling defeated by a form, you're being guided through it. And when you're done, the output is immediately useful.
You get the finished document, ready to go. The download options are straightforward. You can get it as a filled image, a PNG, or as a finalized PDF document, all set for printing or digital submission.
And the roadmap suggests this is just the beginning. They're planning things like handwriting recognition and a complete voice-only mode where you don't even need a screen, which it brings up a really interesting question for you, the listener, to think about.
Go on.
If AI can perfectly handle our paperwork using just our voice and eventually even our handwriting, do we even need complex digital interfaces for data entry anymore? Could they just disappear entirely?